watching A Music Career in Retirement. I'm Lisa Oligas, and this is Newsmakers. In this edition, we meet a musical artist making music videos, cutting records, and touring to get airplay for her songs. But it's a newly discovered passion, proving you're never too old to change your life's course and follow a dream. We find out from our guest, Suzanne Walker of Suzanne's Band, based in Houston, Texas, along with her husband, Bill Walker. We've aired her videos on our sister show, Beyond Billboard Hits, and here she is to pay us a visit. And this is Suzanne's Band, the duo.
Yeah.
And even though there's more of a... Welcome to Newsmakers and welcome to Joplin.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa. We're happy to be here, and it's so exciting to take our music on the road and bring it to people outside of not only the Houston area, but of Texas, too.
Yeah.
And to just step out of our comfort zone and just bring all those exciting new songs out and say, hey, look what we got.
You bet. Well, I mean, and you've been on our Behind the Bands program with our students and even performed a concert at Joplin's Coffee House while here. We want to take folks back in time, though, to how you got started playing music and singing. This was after your kids were grown. So you told me you didn't even start playing music till like 50?
Yeah,
51?
At 51, a friend of mine asked me to join the School of Rock Band. And I had never played guitar or anything, and so I started with the lessons. And it's just amazing, you know, within 1 year of starting, all of a sudden I started songwriting, and it was just like a portal had opened up. And all of a sudden I was doing all this, and then Bill said, you know, hey, why don't you sell your songs? And I thought, well, you can't really do that. You have to set up some sort of business or process if you're going to do something like that for accountability. And I thought, if I'm going to do that, I might as well just play them myself, you know, because I lived, you know, some of the songs. And so it just kind of morphed into there. And I started out doing solo shows, and then added on duo shows, and then trio, and then full band. Within 3 years, I was already on my second album and doing Christmas music as well.
Wow.
In addition to the country rock pop vibe that we had with a lot of our originals. And then got into the Grammy organization in 2020.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, how significant was that as an impetus? I mean, was it validation?
Huge. Well, it was a surprise for sure, you know, to have that happen so early on. And then subsequently to have each album that was released always go in for Grammy consideration and get accepted every time, you know. So, you know, and I'm comfortable with Bandana Woman being accepted too. So, you know, it's exciting, you know, to feel like you're moving along in the process, because, you know, unlike somebody who's 21, you know, I don't have as much time to do what it is I'm going to do realistically. So.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you, when you first started, what kind of encouragement did you get? It sounds like Bill was on board, like, hey, you should sell these songs. Did you get anybody, were there any skeptics in the family? Like, what are you thinking?
I think it was more myself, you know, because you would, you know, there's days when, you know, you've just had a hard gig, or, you know, it's just been rough physically, and you think, man, you know, what am I thinking, you know, trying to do all this. But I think in some ways it keeps you young too. I think it keeps you physically active, mentally active, obviously. And, you know, music is so healing too. I think I could be, you know, having had the worst day, but when you start playing music, it just, everything else disappears. And you're kind of lost in that moment. You know,
kind of brings you up. Now, you didn't have a history of playing music, but Bill, you did. So tell us a little about, I mean, you played an instrument younger, and you actually were in a cover band, so talk about that. I mean, you play drums, right?
I play drums. I started out playing piano when I was a young child, but then transitioned to drums by the time I got to junior high, and played them all through college and everything, and professionally. But yeah, I mean, we had a cover band when I was young, and we would travel around West Texas playing, you know, high school dances and things like that. So it was a lot of fun, everything. But then I got into the real world, got a job, got married and all that. So I had to take care and do that. So I kind of dropped the drums for about 45 years. And pastor sent up me an email. They needed a drummer at church, pray about it. I thought it went to the entire church, so I was praying.
Just
No,
him,
went to just me.
because he knew who the drummer was.
So I started doing that, and I was really I'm doing better than I thought. From that, I said she was having trouble with drummers. I said, look, I'll play drums for your band, then you don't have to worry about it. The drummer will always be here. And
I know where to find him. I know where he sleeps, right?
it's amazing. I can do things now that I couldn't do when I was a young man.
Wow.
It's amazed me.
Well, I was going to say, were you envious of his talent? But it sounds like he just kind of volunteered, so you weren't kind of like, oh, Bill knows how to play. I should, get in the band. It sounds like you were really encouraging her to go forth with her creativity. Did you see something in her that you thought was going to be successful?
She was very good at what she did, and the songs were really good and everything. And so yeah, it was a way, instead of me being down in the TV room watching TV while the band's practicing upstairs and everything. Now I'm part of the band, so.
Yeah.
He didn't realize how much fun it was, I think, till he started doing it. Then he was like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah.
And it turns out the bass player that was coming over all that time and practicing with me, they start talking. They ended up going to college together at Texas Tech and didn't even know it.
Right.
All of a sudden, we open up the yearbook, and there's the bass player. We're like,
Fun.
oh, small world.
Kind of like it was meant to be.
Meant
There
to
you go.
be, that's right.
Well, so you two raised 4 kids together. So what were you doing before you had this kind of, oh, I should try music? I mean, tell us about your life building up to this point.
Well, my mother was a music major, and
Okay.
both me and my sisters had to do something musical growing up. So I always gravitated more towards singing. That was my favorite thing. And although I had piano lessons for a short time, up until maybe junior high, I had trouble processing the music. By the time I read the music, I was 5 measures late on what my hands needed to be doing. And I had a meltdown, and I said, I hate this. I'm never going to do this again. And my dad said, that's it. I'm not paying for this. So I stopped, and I just focused on singing. Did choir all through school, and even as an adult, I would join these, little ensemble type things
Sure.
and keep singing. Even though I worked full time, I was Air Force, so I did 4 years in the Air Force, and then office management from then on throughout the time that we were raising most of the children. And when I started playing the guitar and writing those songs, I would find myself running over to his keyboard to find the chords that I couldn't find on the guitar.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, I got sucked into that in church as well, kind of like him. Oh, we need somebody to, And so once I started doing that, then we started bringing it into the shows. And I realized, my mother is probably seriously laughing at me right about this time. After I said, I never, so you be very careful about whenever you say, I'm never gonna, and fill in the blank, because that guy can turn around and bite you.
Yeah, you bet. Well, how does your personal past and family influence some of the songs you write? Are they part of what is it things that have happened to you mentioned?
Sure. Like one of the fun songs on our previous album, Ice and Fire, is called Kick It to the Curb. And it's this quirky kind of song about, when you have either someone or something that is, not right for you or you need to get rid of, you need to just kick it to the curb. And that came from my oldest sister, Nancy. She would say that a lot, just kick it to the curb. And I'm like, that's a song. And sure enough, I turned it into a song.
Yeah.
And the Kenny Store, which is on the Bandana Woman album, that came about from a real place in Kenny, Texas, that is a music venue. And I thought I would write a song about it, and I had never been there. When I wrote the song,
Yeah.
I based it off an idea and some of the pictures that I saw of what it was like on the internet, and then just wrote the song from there. And we ended up doing the music video, which is played here on this station. And it's our #1 song off the album right now. Everybody loves it.
Have you gone back to visit it yet?
Yes, we let them know that it's like, by the way, we wrote this song and would like to do a music video here if it's okay with you. And
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. So do you consider yourself a dreamer? I mean, do you think this was a little bit of a dream, like let's try this, or you thought, I'm going to do it no matter what, I'm having fun?
Well, it's funny you should say that because I collect a lot of dream catcher things. I've got them all over the house, and they're there to kind of remind me, you know, that you're never too old to try and follow your dreams, you know, whatever that is. And I knew I wanted to do something with music, but I didn't picture this. You know, it just kind of, you know, morphed along as I went through it all, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. I mean, I didn't think I would be doing something like this, and so it's just really interesting.
Well, you have a song on, I think it's on the new album, where it's the two of you on a road trip. So talk about that song a little bit. And I mean, is it nice that you're doing this together, Bill?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really is. And, you know, we play all kinds of places, but when we get a group of people that get enthused by the songs and everything, that's so encouraging, rewarding, whatever you want to say there. It's
the adrenaline going?
Yeah, it makes you feel really good to see somebody enjoying what it is that you're creating.
Yeah.
Kind of validates what it is that you did. So yeah, I really enjoy it, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so you told me you consider yourself sort of like a female Jimmy Buffett. So how would you describe your style of songs or songwriting?
Yeah, it's kind of a mix of like Shania Twain, Sheryl Crow, and Jimmy Buffett all kind of rolled in together. It's got that kind of light tropical vibe. That's just kind of the way my voice gravitates to, I think, is that style. And like with Cruising With You, you can really hear some of that in that. And Cruising With You is one of the most recent videos that has just been aired recently here. So we're excited about that and can't wait to have some more videos in the works very soon.
You mentioned, I mean, it kind of went with your voice, but do you like the vibe of that beach style? I mean, do you feel like, hey, we're at a time in our life where we want to be kind of chill?
Yeah, the first song I wrote was down in Mexico, and that's about going on a trip, going on vacation. And so even my house is kind of decorated in that vibe, you know, very tropical, where it's, you know, it feels, I wanted it to feel like even when I was home, that I was on vacation, you know, so that it would kind of put me in that mindset. And I love summer and the whole, you know, that whole vibe, going to the beach, you know, just relaxing and
taking
it easy. Yeah.
Well, we need to take a break, so I'm going to ask you a favor. Will you play us something into the break? And we're going to be back with more to talk more about Suzanne and Bill and their life of music. But give us a little taste of what folks will hear when they get your records.
Sure. Well, this song is called Lighten My Load, and it's something we all can use at some point, whether it's during the day or the week or your life. But here we go.
Okay.
Gonna lighten my load, get rid of what's hurting, see a new town, turn a frown upside down. I'm certain, gonna spin my wheels and bet on the horses and see some green. You know what I mean? I'm blessed by unseen forces are rolling down this road, and every stage is my home.
Welcome back to Newsmakers, where we are learning that it is never too late to chase a dream. We are one-on-one with Mia Suzanne Walker of Suzanne's band out of Houston, Texas, and her husband, Bill Walker, also in the band. Welcome again, Suzanne and Bill.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So you mentioned to me on the phone that learning guitar did open that portal to writing. Did you never see yourself as a writer before? Or, I mean, you know, and talk about your inspirations for those songs. I mean, were you somebody who would write poetry or?
Well, my maiden name was Schreiber.
Okay.
And Schreiber means writer. So I come from a family, my uncle used to write articles for his local paper in Kerrville. And one of my sisters was an English teacher, so
it's in your blood.
It definitely in the blood. My mother was a teacher, and I would write some stories, you know, maybe poems, things like that. But I didn't really write music until I went through my divorce. Initially, I guess, that kind of opened up a little bit in me, you know, that need to just pour out some of those things. And, but then I didn't really touch it again until I started playing guitar, and I pulled out some of that and started thinking about, well, if I was going to write a song, what would I write about? And then Down in Mexico came about. I would write something about going on vacation, and it just kind of started from there.
Yeah, the ball started rolling.
Yeah.
So talk to me about, you know, you've performed live, but you've also recorded albums. Is there one you like better, or is it just kind of a different thing when you're in a studio recording as to being live? I know Bill mentioned, like, there's a vibe when you're live. You get that feedback. Is it different in the studio?
Oh, man. The most incredible thing is when I've just been working on something on the guitar, the piano, and you take it into the studio for the first time and the band plays it. I mean, because each song is a baby. It's like a baby that's been born, and you finally have it in your hands and you can touch it. And when the band plays that music, it's always so emotional.
Really?
I mean, it just gets me every time. You know, and I think that it's going to be different, and it's just not every time. And with this album, for Bandana Woman, I really feel like it's the best that I've done. You know, each thing has been a progression. I've learned something new with each album that's been produced and each Christmas song. And with the two most recent Christmas songs that just came out at Christmas, which are on our website at suzannesband.com, and then with this album as well, I love all of it, all of the aspects about it. I think if you were gonna ask me maybe by genre, you know, like which tropical song do you like best, I'd say Far, Far Away off the album, because that's my favorite of that. If you said which country song or which country pop song do you like off the album, ooh, then it gets a little harder, because they're all good. You know, the Kenny Store is a lot of fun, but you know, Bandana Woman, obviously.
Yeah.
We have a lot of bandana material everywhere, so that's why I wrote that song, as a matter of fact, because we usually keep a little strip of bandana underneath our tip jar area and things like that with our logo colors.
Okay.
Because we like to definitely have people remember, oh, that's the band that had those, you know, colors out or whatever, and it just keep that going at all times.
So, Bill, you're the drummer. Do you add any influence when it comes to the rhythms of the song? I mean, is there a collaboration, or is it she's saying, no, I want this beat, give it to me this way?
Ooh.
She has some specifics that she likes.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, I have to take that, but she'll say, you know, let's have some kind of beachy, tropical type feel to it. So then I'll have to come up with something to match what it is that she's thinking about that fits the song and everything. And you know, they had the studio musicians that did the track for the album. But then I'm like the guy that comes in after that and puts something in percussion-wise that gets an emotion out of the people too.
Right, right.
Not just a straight rhythm keeper like what you normally have in the studio.
Yeah. Do you work well together? Or, I mean, obviously you're still together playing, so you do tour together. But does it ever come to like, oh, hey, I disagree? Or
We have those moments, yeah. Yeah.
It's a mixed bag. There's some of both.
Many a rock band has, you know, burned out on the road. Is it different for you now that you don't have to worry about, like, oh, you know, missing kids at home necessarily? I mean, your kids are grown. Do you feel like you have more freedom to say, I can tour? Or is it still tiring?
Well, he's basically still working full time.
Oh, wow, okay.
He hasn't, you know, stepped away completely for that, so we kind of have to work around that in our schedule. But, and this is really our first mini tour that we've stepped out and taken. So if we can kind of get some more of these going, where we take these, you know, shorter tours out right now and just kind of get a feel for how that's rolling, and then we can add some longer ones as we go along, and we
Beyond
have more
Texas.
time to do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
you know, to get out and take the music to all these different places. We can't wait.
Does it, I mean, does it help having your husband with you? Do you kind of like, it's like, okay, that way you're not missing home when you're together?
I mean, it's not just that. I mean, he adds so much because he does the sound. He, you know, helps with the, you know, loading and unloading and the logistics of getting places. And, you know, he literally is my other half, you know, in all ways. So it's great to have that partnership.
You said you had an office job. Does your business experience, has it prepared you for the business side of music, or is that a whole nother learning curve?
I feel like that is a bigger influence than anything.
Really?
I feel like if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be near as far along as I am, because I had so many years of that experience with keeping those Excel spreadsheets of different things, which you use for mileage when you're a musician, which you use for expenses, which you use for your income, being able to keep track of people that you have to pay 1099s to for your band members and all those things, taxes every year. It is a music business. It really is.
Sure.
And it's either that or it's a hobby. There is no middle ground. It's either one way or the other. And if people don't go into this and treat it like a business, then there's a lot of pitfalls that can happen.
For sure.
And the danger is it's really easy to get comfortable in the business end of it, because that's what all my experience is, and then not take the time and practice and, you know, go write and go do the other things. So finding that balance is the tricky part.
Yeah.
And so it's just, and you don't want to do one over the other. You know, I can't spend all my time in the music loft just writing and not take care of everything else too. So
it's a balance.
Yeah.
So your logo has a lightning bolt in it. So tell me why you picked that, because it was kind of an interesting reason there.
Well, the initial colors of the logo were purple and green. And where that came about was my best friend, Sue, and I, her favorite color was purple and mine was green, and is. And we would write notes to each other in high school back and forth in our colors. And when I was thinking of a logo and how I wanted to design it, I wanted to always remember that no matter how old I get, to remember that time in life when we were just starting out and we had all that time ahead of us. And I wanted to keep that mindset so I wouldn't think about, you know, age as much as you know, keeping that youthful experience. And with the lightning bolt in the middle, we're from Houston, so we have lots of storms. And as I songwrite, I felt like my mind works like lightning, you know, one brilliant flash and then it's gone. So if I don't write it down right then, I might as well kiss that song goodbye, because I've just lost it. I don't, it's hard to get it back.
Do you keep a pad and pen paper by your bed? Or, I mean, where do you often get those flashes of enlightenment?
Well, when it's in the shower, it's always tough. So those are hard moments. By the time I open the door, it's like, oh man,
I forgot what I was thinking.
I forgot what I was thinking. But yes, I have pen and paper in the car for sure. And a phone is really handy too, because I've found myself going into the notes section of my phone when I don't have pen and paper available, and I'll, you know, do something real quick in there just to remind myself where I was at.
Got to jot it down.
Gosh, yeah, because it's so easy to get distracted.
Well, I know the comedian Larry David, I guess apparently has notebooks, and he would just write like one little thing that he said or somebody did, and then it became a whole episode later on. So you never know when lightning will strike.
Right.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I keep everything in a folder, and then when I go into songwriting mode, then I'll open that folder and start. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, you know, putting all the pieces together and seeing what feels right. Because we kind of have a momentum going where one year I'm releasing music and promoting it, and then going into the next year it's writing, production, and all that, you know, that is involved. And so it's kind of like an every other year momentum that I have going.
Now, it may or may not have happened, but do you feel like you've ever faced any ageism? You know, I mean, you started your career later. Do you feel like as you're going out there and performing, do people like, oh, You know, I mean, are they surprised? Is it a happy surprise? Or do you feel like you've ever had any obstacles because of being an older performer?
Yes, that. And I had a situation at one venue where I went in there and was interested in playing there. And it was a lady that I was talking to, and she says, "Oh, well, have you heard of this artist and this artist and this artist?" And she was naming all these male, you know, solo type artists. And I said, "Yes." And I said, "But you know what?" I said, "There's something missing." And she says, "What's that?" And I said, "I don't see any female artists in your lineup." And I said, "I'd love to help you out with that."
Yeah.
And then she said, "Sure, I'll give it to my manager and he'll get back to you." And I thought, "Oh, okay." Yeah, never, that's it, that's it.
So, I mean,
So
sometimes
it
being a
was
woman,
shock.
and then sometimes.
It was a shock. I thought, really? It's 2020, whatever the year was at the time, 2025 or whatever. I thought, really? And that's where you look at it. If you look at a venue's lineup, that is very telling right there.
Who else they're already booking.
Yeah, who are they booking? And that tells you right there, you know. And sometimes you get lucky and they want to give you a chance and they're just looking to book people and they don't care. And
Do you play a lot of festivals? I mean, where are some of the places you have performed live?
we tend to play in coffee shops, restaurants, bars, some festivals, not as many.
Sure.
Gosh, wineries.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just like we were just at Cedar Hollow Winery. It's the start of our tour, and different areas like that are looking to have live music played. You know, we're ready to be there wherever it is.
Well, one final question. Why do you think it's important for people to give it a shot? And what advice would you have to somebody, for some dreamer out there who might be like, "Oh, it's too late"?
Oh, gosh. I mean, this has really shown me that if you open yourself up, you know, to whatever it is that you feel like you can do all day, every day without, you know, like I could spend hours up in that music loft writing. I have to pull myself out because I just get into that zone. And whatever your thing is, if it's painting or if it's writing or woodworking or whatever it is you do that you're interested in, that you think that you could do something with, I would just say chase it, you know, and see what happens.
Well, thank you, Mia Suzanne Walker and Bill Walker. Thanks for being here, and we look forward to hearing your music more. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And that wraps up this edition of Newsmakers. You can check out an in-depth look at Suzanne's music on our Behind the Bands on our KGCS YouTube channel. Be sure to follow your dreams too. Thanks to our guests Mia Suzanne Walker, Bill Walker, and thank you for watching Newsmakers.